text it to you too.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 12 of the Not Okay, It's Okay podcast.
That's a big deal. Episode 12.
Episode 12. This is a place for you to not be okay and share about it. And Rashidah and I are here to not only give our professional input, but also share our personal stuff as well in normalizing the struggle to balance the day-to-day and what life throws at us on the daily. So
every day.
Yes. Thanks for joining us. How you doing, Rashidah?
So, I mean, this is like pre-Thanksgiving. Very, very stressful, to say the least.
Girl, I hear you. You know, we've been chatting a little bit. So yeah, let's, first of all, today's episode is on gratitude.
Yes.
Which, what a, great and apropos time to talk about gratitude on the eve of Thanksgiving. So yeah, talk to me. I mean, yeah, stressed for sure. I am so with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different time, because now, this is a different time for many of us, because we're managing to get work through this pandemic.
If we're lucky, we're working.
If we're lucky, we are working.
Right.
And so it's, different, not having the extended family, for some of us.
Yeah.
This year, it's like going to just be me, my husband, and the kids.
Yeah.
Which is fine,
What is it usually?
Maybe a few other family members, my in-laws, and, just a few other stragglers who join.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. So it's going to be different because my kids don't eat my food.
Oh, well, that's different. I got you. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I can speak to that too. Like I mentioned last week, Thanksgiving at our house, / my parents' house is, we usually have 25. We have 25 of our family. It is like the best. It's one of the 2 times of year we actually get together. It's like a definite that we'll see them and all get to like catch up. And this year that's not happening. It is like 8 of us this year. Okay. And listen, so yeah, it is. I'm definitely struggling with that because, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday.
Yes.
And yeah, so it's definitely different, which, makes gratitude a little challenging through this time. Yeah. Absolutely. So have you felt that way? Because I know I have, and I am like the queen of gratitude.
It's been rough, I've shared on the show, I lost my dad. And so, definitely challenging to find, things that I'm grateful for, especially when you've suffered a loss.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Makes so much sense.
It's hard.
So sure. And yeah. So, I mean, this is why we chose this topic, right? Yeah. So, hey, Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl.
So what do you say? You want to get into gratitude? Why don't we define gratitude? I mean, so many people, we throw this word around, you hear it. It's another one of those buzzwords, like in the world today, which is great. Listen, there could be worse buzzwords, but
there could be worse buzzwords.
Let's go beyond the use of it as a buzzword, and let's define it. So gratitude acknowledges the good things in your life.
The good things in our life.
Right?
Yeah.
What, anything,
I mean, basically
that?
I mean, you said it perfectly, the appreciation for what one has.
Yes. Right.
I know that, again, for me, sometimes it's challenging. We can get into this, definitely later in the show, and, to kind of just pull that out, instead of thinking about what's not going right, pulling out what is going right and what I'm thankful for.
Okay. So question for you. What is your experience with gratitude? And let's make this like a 2-part question. So what's your first part? What is your experience / relationship with gratitude? And part 2, what is your relationship / just experience with gratitude during COVID? Because that's like me. I have been really, really challenged during COVID. So I'll ask you. So go ahead. Okay. So what's your experience / relationship? Yeah.
I can, I guess I can share an experience that kind of opened that door. And it's so interesting that it happened on Thanksgiving years ago. I know.
You didn't even plan this. That's so cool.
I know. And so, years ago, I was at my mom's for Thanksgiving, and I brought my dog. I had like a Jack Russell Terrier.
Ooh.
Yeah, and we had ate, and everything was great. And it was time to take, her name was China. Time to take China out, and I was walking her in my mom's neighborhood, and I've been in my mom's neighborhood, but I normally don't walk at night. And basically, I was walking, and then my dog kind of like, just kind of seized up, and because there was a pit bull, just a, random, and I love pit bulls. Shout out to pit bulls.
They get a bad rap. Yeah,
they do get a bad rap. And long story short, the pit bull was attempting to attack, my dog, and so I just kind of froze. Didn't know what to do. And this woman from, I don't know where she came from, had an umbrella. It wasn't even raining. Started waving her umbrella and was just like, get away from her. And the pit bull ran away. And I don't even know what happened after that. Like the woman just disappeared. It's kind of, spooky a little bit because I just was just so
Did she have wings? Did she descend down? Was she a guardian? I mean,
I feel like she was, but she came out of nowhere. I mean, it was like, it was like the streets. It was dark. Nobody was really, driving or anything like that.
The dog was solo and just coming after you. Yeah. Wow, that is so scary. Yes. Okay.
So what are the chances, right? And this woman comes out waving her umbrella and it's like, get away from her. And the pit bull like just goes away.
Wow.
And I rushed back to my mom's house. That was true. I'm so grateful for that woman, wherever she may be, for what she did for me, my dog.
Sure. So was that kind of like your first conscious experience of gratitude?
Yeah.
Because I know you felt gratitude in your life, obviously at other times. Look, I have a Post-it stuck to me just in case. So I really don't forget.
But it matches your shirt, though. It has
great. Awesome. Hey, Marie. Hey, Connie.
Hi.
So that kind of launched you into this space of like the awareness of gratitude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was true gratitude, because who knows what would have happened if that woman who could have just again, she came out of nowhere. She and that she risked herself, to help me and my dog.
Incredible.
Amazing.
Incredible. All right. So I'll switch the question. I'll flip it on myself and then we'll go back to.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my experience with gratitude, again, I'm sure I felt it in my younger days, but I really didn't experience gratitude until I went through all of my stuff with anxiety, like that dark time for me.
Okay.
And so for me, gratitude goes hand in hand with the law of attraction for me. And because that's the way I learned about it. I learned about it when I first started studying the law of attraction and the universal laws, right? So
yeah, can you break that down? Because I don't know if everybody out there knows what like the law.
Wiki. I'll break it down. So break down the law of attraction is basically one of the universal laws that like gravity. Like it cannot be disputed or debated. Like no matter how many times I say, Rashidah, I don't believe in gravity. It does not exist. Yada, 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 gravity.
Right.
So as gratitude / the law of attraction is what you put out, you get back. It's the same thing. Positive attracts positive, like attracts like. So then negative attracts negative. So what you put out into the world, you have to get back, because that's like on the energetic level. That is like the metaphysics.
Yes. Hilary, I think this should be like a topic for we should make this a topic.
Okay, well, it's a topic all the time. I'm a huge fan of the law of attraction. And just FYI, for whoever's listening, my first book that got me into it, that drew me into that during this dark time, was The Big O. Oprah introduced me and the world, to the book, The Secret, which is now a movie. You can see it. I recommend the book. I recommend the movie. I pick the movie up all the time. I pick the book up all the time. So that's my... wanting to attract so badly, feeling good, feeling better, because I was so anxious and I was like holed up in my house. Like it was terrible. We've spoken about it on here. So my first experience with gratitude is via the law of attraction, and just being grateful for things that I didn't yet have, like my healing, that I was going to get through the anxiety. I was going to get, all of those things. Right. So yeah, that's my original. That's the birthplace of my relationship with anxiety.
I love that. I love it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I have one hair that is really annoying me, and my parents told me that I fidgeted with my hair too much last week when they were listening.
Oh,
sorry, parents. Hey, Rita. So now I'll flip the question back to you. How has your experience / relationship with gratitude changed or morphed since COVID hit?
I think that it actually, prior to my father dying, it brought, we have a comment. I first hear the law of attraction in massage school in 1990.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
1990. Right. Wow. That's amazing. And good to know that massage school is one of the healing arts. So how cool that's pretty awesome, Stephanie. Thank you for sharing that. And all I want to say is 1990, Chuck Rock rolls onto the scene. Sorry, that. Okay, never mind. Go back. Sorry.
90s were a good time. But so when all this was happening, I was, definitely grateful for continuing to stay in good health, that I didn't get sick or wasn't aware I was sick, that my kids were okay, and then it just kind of like made me look at like little things, things that I took for granted, like toilet tissue, right? Like who knew, right? Who knew? And that's still kind of like an issue right now. And my dad passed, and then it was, I went into this like dark place. Sure. Just kind of looking at a lot of the negatives in life. I was kind of like just sad and just feeling like it was one thing after the next. And so that kind of gratitude kind of shifted to, more of a negative emotion. Why is my dad not here anymore? So I think now I'm back in, I'm slowly going in an upswing. I'm coming through this grief process. Yeah.
Moving through it, sure.
Moving through it, and also being grateful that I had the amount of years with him that I did, because some people don't. So, but if you asked me that about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I would have been like, I wouldn't have said that.
Right. Yeah. And what you said, I have it written down. It's, another way to look at gratitude and what it is, a definition for us is really focusing on the haves versus the have-nots.
Right.
And so, like you were just describing, you were in the place of have-not.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Wow.
But what about you?
Okay. So for me, it is literally a daily, what was so immediate for me because I practiced gratitude for a long time. And so immediately when the pandemic hit, I was kind of, everything halted, like my daily meditation, like my meditation practice halted. The daily practicing of gratitude kind of halted as well, or at least slowed down. And I remember one specific moment of feeling such intense gratitude, which then kind of via the law of attraction helped me to begin to focus on gratitude again. So that moment for me was, I was during, especially the early months of COVID, I was doing the shopping for my parents, for my mother-in-law, for my brother. Like we were pooling stuff together. Like he would run out and go get stuff. And so I was kind of, suiting up and, with the masks and the gloves. In the beginning, we didn't know what was what. And I went to one of the smaller grocery stores because I didn't, it wouldn't be crowded. And I remember standing there, and this must have been a few weeks into it. I think it must have been, like April-ish. And we were still at the height of it. And I remember standing in the shampoo aisle. And again, this is a small supermarket. So, there was no variety. And I saw this shampoo. And I think it was like Pert or Breck, like an old school. Yeah. And I was like, I put my hands on it and I put it into my cart, and I was just so grateful. Like I wasn't looking for the purple blonde shampoo. I wasn't looking for color sensitive, restoring, volumizing. I was just so grateful because I knew my shampoo bottle at home was coming down to the wire, the wire. I wasn't going to be out for another 2 weeks. And here is this shampoo. So I was just really, and I remember feeling that gratitude in the moment, putting it in the cart, paying for it, coming home, having it, using it. And I was just like, damn. And I was like, I need to get back to the basics. Wow. I need to get back to the basics. Like I am so grateful that I could clean my hair. I don't need, the salon stuff. I don't need my Pantene stuff. It was like this awakening almost. So,
and is it just interesting, like how, like just a small moment in time, right? You see this bottle and that it shifted, like your current thought process, of like, and it built this momentum of like gratitude.
It did. It really it flipped that switch for me, I think, because in the beginning when the pandemic hit, we all went on to, I can't say we all, I went on to extreme autopilot, survival mode. What do I have to do?
Right.
What do I have to line up? What do I need to fix? That kind of thing. And so that moment was kind of like, whoa, I'm still in this thing called life. And I haven't been kind of showing up the way that I know works best for me or makes me feel the best.
And then that gratitude that it gives you, like, and I'm sure we're going to get into this, like that it's almost like an endorphin. Like it's like that just positive feeling, like that energy that, like it's just it's a feeling. It's a good feeling.
It absolutely is. Agreed. So that was my COVID experience with And
again, it was just something so simple as a shampoo.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It was simple. It was basic. It was there. Like, just like, it felt like it was just a necessity. It was there. It's all I needed. I'm okay now.
Yeah.
It was just that comfort. So yeah, that really, and that awakened a slow crawl, let me say, back to my old practice, because I'm certainly not there yet with my stressors the way they are, like we were talking about in the beginning. It's a struggle. It really is.
And that's the challenge. Like, it's important to utilize gratitude in those moments where you feel like you're in a dark place, or, just you feel like just things are just not going right. That's like the really important time to utilize that, to pull that out, right? Because it's just so important, it's, and again, like, it was hard for me again to like kind of go to that place of, I'm like thankful that I, have my health, and I'm thankful that my dad died.
Right.
So then,
So sometimes it's really hard to find gratitude. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's a practice. And we're going to talk about, how we can get into the practice, but it's starting really, really small. Right. Like, how could I be, I'm imagining you in your shoes. Like, how could I be grateful? I just lost my dad. Like, what am I positive? What could I possibly be grateful for? And then you are, I don't know, you find a $20 bill in the pair of jeans you didn't wash. You know what I mean? And then you're like, wow, I am grateful for this, that little spark.
I'm
that
grateful
can
for
ignite it.
a $1 bill if I find in my
Hysterical. So that's that's been our experience with gratitude. And anybody out there, all of you listeners there, if you want to share any of your experience with gratitude, both pre and during this COVID pandemic, and maybe how the relationship has changed / evolved, feel free to chime in, and we will absolutely get to you. So, Rashidah, where do we want to begin? Where do we want to begin? Do we want to talk about the benefits of gratitude? Do we want to talk about what? I mean, I could talk about the brain for a second.
I think that's a good place to start. With the brain.
Okay, so with the brain, practicing gratitude unlocks the brain's neuroplasticity.
Ooh, and so I know unlocks. I like that.
It is. It's like the key. So neuroplasticity is basically a big word for I could change. So that's what it does. It unlocks the brain's neuroplasticity, which means that it allows for a restructuring. So if we begin to practice gratitude and come from a place of gratitude, the more that we practice it, the more we're carving that neuro pathway. So it takes us from our old way of thinking to a new way of thinking. Right? Hey, I got Andy. Hey, Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Finding gratitude in the smallest things I can. A good song coming up on shuffle. Yes. Making a cup of coffee just right. Yes. Eating a banana that's just the amount of ripe. Yes. And the smaller the thing I could be grateful for, the better. Preach, Andy. Yes. Spot on. Yes. Thank you for that. Love it. So neuroplasticity. So it unlocks that, and we're basically reteaching our brain. We're retraining our brain.
It's almost like a reprogramming.
It is exactly that, a reprogramming. Yeah. So gratitude is one of the keys that unlocks that brain's neuroplasticity.
Ooh, sounds good.
Awesome. So
and it's good to know that we can change our brain, like that we're not locked into.
Absolutely. And it's, you're spot on it. And it's stuff that we've talked about in past shows too, like regarding our negative core beliefs, our anxious thoughts, our pervasive thoughts, like, and utilizing our skills. Something just flew past me. Weird. Still here. We can, our brain, this neuroplasticity factor really allows us to make changes, to change so much, and which is exciting because some of us
It is absolutely exciting. I think about like someone who may be depressed or maybe anxious and just that feeling of like, this is always going to be this way. Like, and to know that, I can do certain things like gratitude and just kind of reprogram that is amazing.
Yes.
That's like wait, isn't Yes like a shampoo commercial? No.
Is it?
Wasn't there a shampoo commercial? Yes. Was it Pantene? No.
I don't know.
The person's in the shower.
I'm going to let you figure this out. Go ahead. I'm enjoying it.
No. They were in the shower and they were like, I thought they were saying like, yes. Anybody know what that commercial was? It was like back in the day.
I don't know. All I'm thinking of Calgon is Take Me Away. So I have no idea what you're talking about. But hey, I believe it. I believe you. So gratitude, one of the keys to unlock this beautiful capacity that our brain has to make changes. And anything else did you want to add about the brain? Fun little facts?
Well, it I think about like our prefrontal cortex.
Yes.
Like right here. You know, and I think they've done like brain scans and things like that. So like there was so there's a task that's given that simulates, expression of gratitude. And and what they found is that it makes lasting changes in our prefrontal cortex.
Interesting.
There's a lot that's housed there. Judging.
And just to hop off of what you're saying, so the prefrontal cortex is the last of our brain that develops. So interestingly enough, I know I've read up a little bit on childhood trauma and gratitude because, as kids, we have all in some way or another been affected by our childhood, right? We have all had good experiences, bad experience. But what they were saying was something like when a kid experiences like a trauma or a wound, like when they're wounded, if somebody says something mean, they don't have a defense against like negative information yet because the prefrontal cortex has not been fully developed yet. So that the information that the kid is having thrown at them, either negativity from parents or abuse or whatever, school, bullies, that slips into the brain unfiltered and then becomes their limiting belief system. So I just thought that was really interesting.
No, that is really interesting.
But the good news is that gratitude helps that. Gratitude helps us go in and heal up those old wounds. So wait, I'm seeing something from Cheryl.
I found gratitude in my son being able to go in person to school, even if it was only for 1.5 months. He got to see his teacher and friends. Now I have to find gratitude now that school is shut down for at least 8 weeks.
Oh, Cheryl. Yes. Yes, I am with you. I'm sure a lot of people here are with you. And it's really hard to find gratitude right now. That is one of the major challenges, I think, for a lot of parents right now, going through the openings, the closings, the hybrids, the not, and now we're pretty much shutting down. So it is hard to find gratitude. So how can we challenge Cheryl to find some gratitude in that? What do you think? Any ideas, Rashidah?
Oh, we're talking to me.
You're the one. I do the show. We do the show together.
I know. I thought
so. I was saying, Cheryl saying she has to find gratitude now that school's been shut down for probably 8 weeks. So how do we do that? So can we find some gratitude maybe in, hey, this has never happened before other than the original shutdown. How can I find a way to connect with my son? Even if it's for, 5 minutes over breakfast, you know what I mean? How can we find gratitude? Like, wow, if the world were up and running, I wouldn't get this extra time spent with my son, or maybe something like that. You could
that's beautiful. And I also think about like, that you were able to have, when I was talking with my dad and being able to have him for as long as I had him, Cheryl, you were able to, have him, in-person school for a good period of time. Whereas I think some other people, they went virtual kind of like just right away.
Off the bat, right.
So it's nice that he did at least get to experience some time with his like friends and I don't know girl, but
and connect. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So brain, we kind of covered, but what about talking about the benefits of gratitude?
Well, there's so many benefits, right?
Oh my goodness. So shall we
so
begin?
Many, yes.
Yes. So I feel like, what's that song? So Many Men. This is like so many benefits. No, so I was going to change it to So Many Benefits of Gratitude. You know me, everything is.
I don't think I ever heard that song, So Many Men.
Yes, you did.
So many men.
So many men, so little time. Sorry, I'm really out of tune. How can I lose so many men? So little time. Nobody? Somebody out there.
How
can I lose?
You hit the key at the end. And I was like, oh, God.
And then there's like a countdown. It's like 5. Thank you, Stephanie. Yes. Okay. So I was just going to be like, so many.
A little longer, Hilary.
Okay.
But I got there.
Okay. So now you get it. And then, so the joke that didn't land was, so I was going to be like, so many benefits. Okay, never mind. Go ahead, Rashidah. Let's talk about the benefits of gratitude.
Let's talk about the benefits. Benefits.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's definitely, helps us to reduce our stress.
Reduce our stress, for sure.
Yeah,
Big one. It decreases symptoms of anxiety and depression.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Invites more positive emotions.
Absolutely. I think about, sometimes when it's in your face and you see what could have been your life in a sense of, I think about, there's so many people that are right now that don't have anyone to share Thanksgiving with, that are alone, that maybe, just don't have anyone. And so like, it just kind of again puts things in perspective.
Sure thing.
So the things that I may be stressing about right now, fail in comparison to what other people may be going through right now.
Right. So the gratitude actually widens our perspective.
Absolutely.
What it does.
The lens gets bigger. Yeah.
Exactly. And the lens gets bigger. It puts a new lens on things. Right.
Yeah.
So, also, just on the hormonal tip, gratitude decreases cortisol, our stress hormone.
Ooh.
It increases oxytocin, which is our bonding hormone, the feel-good stuff. And there are studies that prove all of this, right? What else? It improves confidence. It improves our well-being.
Yeah.
Improves relationships.
Keep preaching. Keep going.
I know. I'm like, what else? There's so much. Any other ones? Being grateful makes me feel at peace. Yeah, Connie, it does. Absolutely. Good.
And
that's a good one.
Our immune system. They say that, when we feel that gratitude, that our immune system thanks us for it, because when you're stressed out, that takes a toll on your,
it does.
So if I'm in good spirits and upbeat about life and things, like my immune system's going to thank me for it.
Yes. And Connie, just to speak on your comment about gratitude making you feel at peace, gratitude engages the calming part of our nervous system. So it really does. It goes right into the physical, the mental, hormonal, all there's so much. So just think about that. We're talking about adjusting the way we view things. We're talking about, so this is the power of the brain, right? And we're only at the tip of the iceberg with what they're finding now in studies regarding both gratitude, mindfulness, all of these, in positive psychology, which is a whole other episode. But yeah, these are some facts,
I start thinking about just imagine, everyone out there, you're having just a real sucky day, right? It's just, you're just feeling like nothing is going right. and you just end up walking somewhere for whatever purpose you're walking for, and you find $100 bill in the grass. How would your mood just be like, oh, here's $100 bill, or would it be like, oh my gosh, I just found $100 bill, I could buy this, and your world just
right,
like
absolutely, yeah, 100%. So that's because gratitude is then ignited, right? We've ignited gratitude. Our lens switches and we have a new perspective and we're like, I just found $100. Yeah. And so it's in things like that. Absolutely. That it's that ignition, right? Like Andy was talking about, when his coffee comes out just right, when his banana is perfectly right, you know, and, and music. And I posted something about that this week. Music has the capacity, same way gratitude does, to just shift, turns on a switch. Yeah. So, okay. So this is all the ways that gratitude, all the benefits, which I'm sure absolutely 100 more, but let's move to, before we go on to practical solutions, Rashidah, did you have, any, thing you wanted to add? I have my, one quote from the Godfather himself,
the Godfather from the movie?
Dr. Wayne Dyer. He is like the godfather of positive psychology. Oh my gosh. If you guys are not familiar with Dr. Wayne Dyer, D-Y-E-R, check him out. He is no longer with us on this earth, but he is with us through me. And he always says, attitude is everything. So pick a good one. And
I like that.
Yes. And that is because I think he's the one who coined attitude of gratitude. Because that is, Stephanie loves Wayne Dyer. Yes,
Stephanie is on that.
Level. She is on that. And so the attitude of gratitude, and what we think about, we bring about, these are all like the power of thoughts, the power that we have to shift. So if we shift our thoughts to gratitude, and then like attracts like, we have so many good things coming our way.
I love that law of attraction.
Right.
I love that. That's why I like to center myself around like really positive, good people, that can see the positives in life, and it just boosts me up.
Well, how do you think we got connected, Miss?
The universe connected us.
Right? Through the law, because like attracts like. We always say we're twins, right?
I know, because I sat in your chair, where you were.
That's right.
And then I was just like, there was like a crystal there, and I'm like, what is that about?
Didn't I leave it for you?
Is that what you really purposely left it for me?
Yes.
I wasn't sure. I didn't know. I would have kept it if I thought that.
You didn't keep it?
You didn't put a message to say, hey, this is for you. So I just thought
I told our office, okay, whatever. We'll talk about that later. I'll get you a new one. So, okay. So can we move on to some practical solutions?
Let's move on.
So we can make time for everything else. So did you want to start, or go ahead? You want me to?
Okay. Well,
go ahead.
When working with clients, I challenge them to like, just kind of wake up and 2 or 3 things, right? Simple things, 2 or 3 things, let that be your first thought. Write it down, think about it. Some people will put it on their mirror that you're grateful for. Start your day. Can you imagine just starting your day?
I can. I do, but I'm, again, pandemic, I'm like, a little out of practice. But so that's great. So the first recommendation in a practical solution is daily gratitude. Picking a time and space to just give yourself, even one thing, right? We want to start small. We don't want to put pressure on ourselves. We're all in this really stressful time right now. So one thing, right? So you can do it as soon as your feet hit the floor, right? In the morning, you could do it once your eyes wake up. Me personally, that's shower time. Like when I'm in the shower and the hot water hits me, I start with I am grateful for this hot water. I am grateful for my home, for the good, and it gratitude begets gratitude. So finding a practice, a time and space for someone else, it might be, as you're getting ready in the morning or at night before you go to bed. So finding time for daily gratitude.
Yeah, I got to get more consistent with that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hear you.
Yeah.
Me too. And another thing is a gratitude journal. There are people who like to journal about their gratitude, write down at least one thing every day that they're, grateful for. And
there's like journals that have like the prompts,
Sure.
that prompt you, like what is something beautiful you saw today? Right? What is something that you ate that was like gratifying?
Yeah, and so that one's a really good one because it helps, like you said, to prompt, what to write about. And what else? So I like, and I don't do it enough. Well, yes, I do. In one, I do a lot of text thank yous, like text gratitude. But in my dreams, I want to be like that thank you card writer, not like Jimmy Fallon, but you know what he does? That's the funniest. Anybody, Jimmy Fallon, when he does thank you, he does
crickets,
funny.
Crickets.
He does the funny thank yous. They're like pretty facetious, but pretty funny. So like text somebody like just, hey, I just want to thank you. Like today, Rashidah, I texted Ashley about something, just gratitude for her.
Oh, so beautiful.
And so I feel like, hey, in today's world, it's okay to text. There's no gratitude etiquette. We can text. I'm just thinking like how that may have helped Ashley, right? Just to get that, I mean, especially if she wasn't, her mood state was a little stressed or whatever the case may be, that it just. Yeah. And good point, because gratitude not only feels good for you and makes all of those positive things happen, all the benefits that we just spoke about, but when we extend the gratitude, we are sharing that feeling. We are sharing the good vibes, if you will. We are passing the ball along, and that helps other people feel that way. That's another gift.
Oh, we got Cheryl. What's up, Cheryl? It's a good thing to teach children, especially if they might not get as many presents this year due to financial reasons, or if you can't spend it the way you normally would.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. And that's actually something, Cheryl, that we were kind of talking about, last week regarding the stress of the holidays this year, because finances are very different. Absolutely having that conversation.
Yeah. And Hilary, it's like also too, and thank you, Cheryl, for that, is that, really honing in on what really matters. Right?
Yeah.
Like, do those gifts, I know kids, some for them it feels like the end of the world, not getting the PlayStation or Xbox, whatever. But, is that what really matters?
Right.
Is that high on the list?
And look, Jenna wrote something which is speaking to this. So she wrote,
awesome, Jenna.
I've been working on shifting from I wish I had to I have. I remember, this big gratitude moment for me when I moved with my family from a small apartment where I slept on the couch for 6 months to a condo where I had my own room. I remember touching the walls and walking down the stairs and connecting with all my senses, taking in that moment. Now I've been feeling like I'm growing out of my apartment with my husband. Often go, I want a house already. So this was a reminder. Yeah, that's huge.
That is huge.
That's incredible. And Jenna, it seemed like, Rashidah and I were just speaking earlier about, focusing on the haves rather than the have-nots.
Yeah.
Because like in anything with comparison, and we've said this, I feel like quite a few times on the show, is comparison is the death of all happiness.
Yeah.
Because it automatically makes what you have not good enough.
Not good enough. Yep.
So yeah, and now Andy just wrote, I carve out time in all 6 periods of high school psychology that I teach to make sure to talk about gratitude today.
Ooh, awesome,
How
Andy.
it changes the brain, the benefits of it, how we can practice it, etc. I even made their do now writing a 3-item gratitude list. Andy, I wish you were my teacher.
Gosh, mine
You must be
too.
so incredible in that classroom.
Oh, wow.
Amazing. Thank you guys for that.
Changing that neuroplasticity.
Yeah. Key. Unlocking the neuroplasticity. Unlocking it.
Let me tell you, let me, you guys are getting me on a roll here, Jenna and Andy. And Cheryl and all those that are posting in the chat, and just keep posting. We love it. We love it.
Yeah. Rita says I choose gratitude. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So I remember one day I'm in a drive-through for Dunkin' Donuts, and did not expect this. The person in front of me paid for my coffee and my bagel, and I was like in shock. I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't know what to do. I was like frozen. I was like, amazing. Someone like they don't know me, and they did something nice for me. So then I felt compelled to pay for the person behind me, which they got a big thing of donuts, like the full.
I know. Wait, that's hysterical. Wait, I have to tell you. So, like a couple of weeks ago, my husband and I were, I don't know, running around, running some errands, and a guilty pleasure of mine is the McDonald's ice cream that they have. Like they have a little ice cream thing with like caramel or whatever. So we were waiting. We were waiting in line, and he forgot to say something. Oh, I wanted, naturally, I wanted hot fudge and caramel, but he didn't say it. So we were trying to like get back to the microphone, but the guy behind us had already pulled up. But he then backed up, the guy behind us, because he saw that we were struggling. So then I'm all, let's wait for the guy's meal behind us. It's one guy, what could he get? And so we pulled up, we paid for hours. It was like $5. And then my husband's like, what the guy went behind us? And she's like, it's like $16. And we did it anyway. So we paid for him. And she shared, the woman working at the register shared that has happened to her, and it has gone beyond 20 people. So one person started it, and then they just kept car to car.
The momentum, the momentum.
Yes, because again, it attracts that.
It's so beautiful.
The good, yeah. So really beautiful. Awesome. And that's great. Thank you for sharing that story, because it's true. Like somebody paid for me. I don't even know them.
Right. So, and just imagine just how many people, just that again, like you said, giving that to someone and gifting is a gift. Gifting that to someone gives them the power to gift it to someone else.
Sure does.
Yeah.
Sure does. Awesome. Beautiful. So anything that you would like to add, or
yes, I would.
Questions? Go ahead.
I'd like to add. I was reading up on this gratitude, and I came across something called mental subtraction. Mental subtraction. And basically what you do is you kind of like imagine life, what life would be like if some of the positive things in your life didn't happen. Right. So kind of like if I didn't work where I work, I would have never had the opportunity to meet just, such, great people. Right. Which is like, again,
I'm kidding.
Oh, you and many of us.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
If,
absolutely.
if, I didn't, I don't know, there's many things that if these things didn't happen, I wouldn't have experienced many of the things, that I'm gifted to experience now.
That's, yes, I agree wholeheartedly. And I always say, very openly about my past struggle and current managing of anxiety. And, my close friends and family know what a struggle it was for me. And people ask, well, wow, don't you wish that didn't happen? And I stand up and square my shoulders and I'm like, no, I am so grateful that that happened. Because if it didn't, we wouldn't be talking. I wouldn't know you. I wouldn't know Andy and Jenna. It changed the trajectory of my life.
Right.
You know, so exactly, like,
I'm thinking too, like, you know, I do the special needs parent support group, and I think about, you know, my kids, you know, the diagnosis of autism and everything like that, and you know, it was a struggle, you know, dealing with the diagnosis. But I've met some incredible, strong parents, you know, through this process. And I wouldn't take that back for anything. I wouldn't take my kids back for anything, you know?
Change it. Exactly. Incredible.
Yeah. So mental subtraction. Sometimes just think about, you know, if you didn't have what you have, you know, like.
Yeah, look at Andy, you're like our star today. And because I was just talking about this today, hashtag universe.
The universe.
Maybe he could have gone straight to teaching and saved money from grad school. But if I hadn't worked at CPC, shout out to CPC, I would never have met so many great people, including his fantastic wife, for sure. So yeah, exactly.
It's amazing.
Beautiful. Yes.
That is amazing.
All right, Rashidah, tell me, are we ready for our bowl of no shame?
We are ready for the bowl of no shame.
Are
we really ready? I know. I was like, are we really ready? Oh my God.
So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, and again, any questions or anything that comes up or more comments you have, you can email them to us or, I don't know, DM, IG, I don't know, whatever. We'll get them and answer them.
Do what's in. Do what's in.
So here we go. Our bowl of no shame. Who goes first? Do I ask you or do I ask you?
I never remember. I don't know why you keep asking me.
Okay. All right. Well, so here we go. All right. Ready?
Ready.
If you were on death row, what would your last meal be?
Are you asking me or are you asking you?
I'm looking at you.
I'm looking at you too.
Or else I would have said something like, if I were on death row, what would
I know. Hilary, I know. It's been a long day. A long month.
Yeah. A long night.
I'm gonna tell you what it's gonna be.
What is it? I feel like I know.
Okay, what do you think? No, because say what you think.
I feel like you would definitely get your fill of fast food. You would get, Popeyes wasn't coming in on this. Let me not. Go ahead. You go.
Stephanie says it's a good question. It's a really good question. So this is and I'm getting like full course. Okay. So
I want everything. It's your last meal.
I want some shrimp. I want a lot. I want it fried.
Okay.
I want some fried shrimp. I want some lobster, one lobster tail, because I don't think they'll give me 2 lobster tails.
Well, it's your last meal. We do have an argument for it. Go ahead.
I want some fried whiting, at least 2 pieces, large.
Fried whiting?
Fried whiting. You never had fried whiting before?
I have not.
Gotta come to my spot.
Okay.
Some 2 pieces of fried whiting, large size, not the skimpy ones. And I would like.
I love you so much. Go ahead.
And I would like a nice baked potato with a lot of butter and salt, but the larger baked potato, not no skimpy little one. No, you can't.
Okay. I love it. Okay. Okay. What would you have to drink? And dessert?
Well, can you have liquor?
Okay, it's your last night. Yes, you can.
I'll give you like a double shot of tequila.
Oh, okay.
I'm on death row. I mean, you know.
Yeah, right. Any dessert happening?
Ooh, what's red velvet?
Yes, with cream cheese frosting.
No, I no lactose intolerant.
Oh, ooh.
I mean, I don't want to like my stomach be hurting on death row.
No,
like, that's
really. I mean, depending on. Yeah, I guess you'd have enough time to feel that before. Christian says it would be a whole tray of baked mac and cheese and 10 Red Lobster biscuits.
Oh my God.
I echo your macaroni and cheese. Okay.
No meat, Christian, no meat.
So, okay, fried shrimp, lobster tail, 2 pieces of fried whiting, none
Large,
of that small stuff.
large.
Yep. Baked potato with a lot of butter and salt, lard.
Yep. Large.
2 shots of tequila and red velvet.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Wow. All right. I definitely
want to
try. I want to try. I want to try the fried whiting, so we're gonna have to do that. Okay, what would my meal be? I feel like it's going to be all over the map, and I feel like it would be several meals, so I'm gonna scale it back. Okay.
You don't. No, you don't have to scale it back. This is your last wish. This is it.
Okay, so then I need somebody to go to Brooklyn for me.
Not a problem.
Somebody needs to go to Brooklyn and grab me a Jimmy's Hero.
Ooh.
Which would be like turkey provolone with the works. Oh, my dogs are barking. Turkey provolone with the works.
What size?
Just a regular, normal. It's a normal hero, like not like they do in Jersey, like a hoagie, whatever. No, I love New Jersey. Then I would have them hop on over to Roll and Roaster, and I would have chicken fingers with sweet and sour sauce dip, and their fries with cheese. And then they would have to go to Spumoni Gardens to go get me a couple of slices. And then I would have a really delicious pasta dish. And then go to dessert, which would have to be like fresh baked chocolate chip cookies with vanilla ice cream and some kind of chocolate covered pretzels.
What are you going to drink?
Water. Seltzer, probably.
Oh my gosh, all that and just
I can't eat and drink at the same time. It's one or the other for me. I'd rather eat. Okay, so that's that. Okay. And all right, so this question is for me. What is one of your guilty pleasures? One of my guilty pleasures is DVRing the Real Housewives of New York, and the one out in LA, Orange County, I guess. Okay. I used to watch Atlanta, but I haven't really had time for it. And I used to watch Jersey, but Real Housewives, some kind of like mindless, enjoyable television. And what else? Guilty pleasure would also be like a sneak meal from somewhere. Ooh. And oops, I lost an ear thing. And and probably chocolate covered pretzels.
I love that.
What about you?
Great. I just want to shout out to Cheryl, who knows me very well. I don't know how I forgot some crab legs. With some Old Bay seasoning and a little bit of butter. Thank you for reminding me about my crab legs. Can't forget that.
Nice. Rita said Fudgy the Whale. I love it. Ooh, so Rashidah, what would be your guilty pleasure?
Creek. Well, for those fans out there watching, Schitt's Creek it gives me life. It's just so amazing. So amazing. So watching Schitt's Creek.
Yes, I love Schitt's Creek.
It's the guilty pleasure. My guilty pleasure is just I don't feel guilty either.
That's okay. This is your question.
Sitting in the car and eating something by myself and people watching.
Yes. All right. Yeah, you've mentioned that. Good. Okay. Nice.
Eat some whiting and watching that woman over there.
I want to eat some whiting and watch people with you before 2020 ends.
Oh my gosh. You have to eat whiting.
Okay. So this kind of wraps up our show on gratitude. So we have fun announcements, big announcements.
Huge.
Next week. Well, do you want me to? Next week, we have teamed up with the Central Jersey Club, the NANBPWC. Representing, and we are going to be talking to their adolescents who are part of the club, and we got to meet with them last week, and they're incredible. And they have some real questions about mental health, kind of running the gamut. So they're going to be here with us on live Facebook Live, asking us questions, and Rashidah and I will be fielding those questions. So if you out there have any adolescent teens in your home and you want them to join, listen, have them ask questions. You can ask questions on their behalf.
Yes.
And we're super excited to partner with them. They're a great organization.
Amazing. Shout out to them. December 2nd, tune in.
Next Wednesday.
Yes.
6 p.m., same time, same place. We're still working on our Instagram and Facebook page. Please go to Spotify, iTunes, and SoundCloud and download. We need those downloads in order to fulfill our mission of getting the mental health community, people beyond the community, to just be able to normalize that everybody struggles with mental health. They might not call it that, but it is what it is. And, we're therapists who strongly believe that we can normalize this and make the stigma go away.
Yeah, and let's pull that law of attraction, right? Each one tell one, right? So each one tell one about the podcast. Each one tell one, and then before you know it, we're going to be national.
We're going to be national. Yes. So please, we definitely need your help, but we will be back regardless next week for episode 13.
Episode 13.
This Central Jersey Club, NAMBPWC, partnering with them and their incredible youths. I could say it from Brooklyn, they're youths. We're going to be connecting with their youths. And that is all. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Let's be grateful for the small things. We know it's not like it is every year, but we are here. We have our health, and let's just hug the people we can be close with. Hugs. Get that oxytocin.
Hilary, I want to hug you. I'm grateful for you.
I want to hug you. I'm
grateful
for you too. And hugs to all of you.
Yes.
And stay safe and well. And we will get through this. Let's just find some gratitude. Let's challenge ourselves to wake up and find one small thing. It could be that cup of coffee that Andy made just right. Thank you for
that you woke up.
That we woke up. Exactly.
Hey.
Yeah. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Stay well. We'll see you. We're grateful for you.
Peace.
The Not Okay, It's Okay podcast includes casual conversations related to mental health, self-care, practical tips and resources, along with validation that not being okay is okay. You acknowledge and agree that the following warnings and disclaimers shall apply to all of our content.
This podcast represents the opinions of Hilary Scheer, LPC, and Rashidah Cartwright, LCADC, and their guests to the show. The information provided is for informational purposes only, and we recommend that you consult with a healthcare professional for medical or mental health advice.
The views and opinions expressed in the Not Okay, It's Okay podcast are our own and do not represent that of our places of work. Do not use our content in lieu of professional advice given by qualified medical or mental health professionals. Always seek the advice of your own medical mental health provider related to your specific medical or mental health condition prior to implementing any recommendations or suggestions from using our content.
Privacy is of great importance to us. That being said, all people, places, and scenarios mentioned in the podcast have been changed to protect patient confidentiality.